The year was 2189, a time when the stars were no longer distant lights in the sky, but stations of passage for explorers bold enough to cross the void. Among them stood Captain Arian Cross, a name whispered across the Galactic Exploration Agency as both a legend and a warning. He was not just a commander, he was a pioneer, the kind of man who believed humanity's destiny was written in the stars. His ship, the Aetheron, was more than metal and circuits. It was home. And tonight, its navigation charts glowed with a red mark pulsing at the edge of the galaxy, a place few dared to approach. The scientists called it Zefra 9, a planet no one had landed on, shrouded in black storms and strange signals that scrambled even the most advanced sensors. Inside the command deck, Arian studied the holographic map. Beside him stood his crew. Myra, the linguist and codebreaker, a genius with patterns and words. Ellen, the chief engineer, grease-stained hands and a heart that only beat to the rhythm of engines. Dax, the former soldier, scarred by wars he refused to talk about. Seraph, the ship's AI made flesh, a humanoid machine who sometimes seemed more human than the rest of them. "This planet isn't just a rock," Arian said quietly, eyes fixed on the pulsing red glow. "The agency picked up signals from here, human-like, ancient maybe. We're going to find out what's hiding in that storm. But once we're down there, every move matters." A silence fell over the crew. Then Myra smiled faintly. "If it's a language, I'll crack it before it cracks us." The engines roared, stars stretched into lines as the ship slipped into warp. Hours later, the Aetheron emerged into the shadow of Zefra 9. It hung in the void like a wounded beast, dark, wrapped in endless black clouds, yet pulsing with faint flashes of blue light deep within, like the heartbeat of a sleeping god. Ellen whispered, "That thing looks alive." Seraph scanned the readings, his metallic voice trembling with something close to fear. "Energy levels irregular. This planet isn't dead, it's conscious." Lightning clawed across the sky as the ship dove through the atmosphere. The storm fought them like a living wall. Metal groaned, shields flickered, but somehow they made it to the surface. What awaited them was not land as they knew it. The ground was black and glassy, like burnt crystal. The sky churned with storms of violet fire. Then, without warning, the ship's comms filled with a broken signal. A voice, human. "Leave. This world is not what you see." Every heart on that deck froze. Dax muttered, "Perfect. A cursed planet with ghost warnings. Exactly what I signed up for." But Arian didn't laugh. That voice was real, and it sounded like someone begging for their lives. They stepped outside in their suits, the air thick with glowing particles that clung to their visors. The ground pulsed faintly under their boots, as though they were walking on the chest of something breathing beneath them. "The signal's stronger north," Myra said, checking her scanner. They followed her into a valley of fractured stone. Without warning, the ground split open. From the cracks rose towers of blue crystal, humming with unnatural energy. Each pulse echoed like a heartbeat. Ellen stared wide-eyed. "This isn't geology. This is anthropulture, organic architecture." Arian reached toward one of the crystals, but Seraph stepped between him and the glow. "Do not touch. These structures carry a charge that could erase neural patterns. Contact may not kill you, but it could unmake you." Then the crystals began to sing, not in music, but in voices, human voices, millions of them, crying, shouting, whispering. The air shook with grief. Figures formed in the glow, Transparent bodies, human-shaped, faces blurred as if half melted. One stepped forward, reaching out to Arian. "We are the remnants. We were human. Now we are prisoners of this world." Arian's throat tightened. "Prisoners? How? Who did this to you?" The figure didn't answer with words. It only raised a trembling hand to the storm above. And there, through the black clouds, an eye of pure blue light opened. It blinked once, staring directly at them. Myra gasped. "It's not just a planet, it's alive. The whole world is one mind." Dax pulled his weapon. "Great. Let's shoot the damn brain and go home." "No!" Arian snapped, shoving the gun down. "We don't understand it yet. Firing at a god is suicide." The apparition leaned closer to Myra and whispered a single phrase. "The memory core. Find it, or be devoured." Then the figure dissolved back into the crystal. They retreated to the ship, minds racing, nerves shredded. Ellen pored over readings while Myra replayed the fragments of language she had captured. Dax sat silent in the corner, weapon across his knees. Finally, Seraph spoke. "The source of the signals, the memory core, lies deep within this planet, dozens of kilometers below. The crystal networks are the only way down." Ellen groaned. "Perfect! A suicide tunnel into a hungry god's stomach. Sounds like fun." Arian stood tall, voice sharp. "If this planet is trapping souls, then every explorer, every colonist who strays here is doomed. We can't turn our backs. Tomorrow, we descend." At dawn, the planet opened itself to them. Cracks split the glassy ground, revealing tunnels of crystal lit by pulsing blue veins. They entered, each step echoing like the beat of a massive heart. The deeper they went, the more the air vibrated with whispers. Words not their own invaded their minds. They heard children laughing, soldiers screaming, lovers whispering goodbye. Entire histories pressed into their skulls like ghosts demanding to be remembered. Myra's hands shook as she recorded. "It's storing consciousness, millions of them. The planet is feeding on thought." Sarah's eyes glowed faintly. "That explains the energy signatures. Each mind it consumes becomes a battery. You are walking inside a prison of memory." The walls shook violently, crystal shattered, and from their shards emerged hostile figures. Wraiths of light, eyes blazing blue, arms shifting into claws of energy. Dex cursed and opened fire, bullets ripping through without effect. The creatures didn't fall. "They're not physical," he shouted. Seraph slammed his arm into the ground, releasing a surge of electromagnetic energy. The wraiths flickered, staggered, then reformed. "They can be disrupted, but not destroyed," Seraph rasped. The creatures surged forward. Myra screamed something in their fractured tongue, words she had pieced together from the voices. For a heartbeat, the wraiths froze, but only for a moment. Then more appeared, surrounding them in a storm of blue fire. "Run!" Arian roared. They sprinted deeper, chased by the howls of the dead. The tunnels widened into a vast chamber, a cathedral of crystal. The walls shifted constantly, faces blooming across the surface before dissolving into others, millions of human visages screaming silently from the stone.